Welcome to the Write Publish Market podcast. If you're a business owner thinking a book would be a great marketing asset for your business, you're in the right place. Maybe you've already committed, even better. I'm your host, Jody Brandon, book publishing strategist and partner for business owners, CEOs, and entrepreneurs, and 20-plus year veteran of the book publishing industry. On the Write Publish Market podcast, in addition to learning from me and other industry experts, you'll hear from other business owners about their experiences as we explore all facets of writing, publishing, and marketing a book that will help your business grow in ways you might not even be dreaming of yet. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Welcome back, business owners. This is the second part in a two-part episode, quote unquote, series, Business First Book Series. So last week, we talked all about mindset in shifting from self-publishing is, a backup plan to self-publishing is an actual strategic decision, can be your plan A. And now that we have worked on that mindset, I want to take it a step further and talk about some practical things here about why direct selling is just smart business if you're a business owner, leader, CEO, entrepreneur. I say this for many reasons. In the past, we relied on third-party booksellers, right? Amazon, bookstores, retail outlets. That's not so much the case today for a lot of reasons. One, a lot of people aren't going to bookstores to buy books. A lot of bookstores, the big names anyway, have shut down. Independent bookstores, absolutely. Support them, please, and thank you. However, getting a self-published book into an independent bookstore is not always the easiest thing to do. It is absolutely not impossible. It happens every single day. It does require more legwork on your part as the author. So when I'm talking about retail books, that's not what I'm talking about. Amazon and other third-party sellers, Amazon especially, let's be honest, Amazon fatigue is real. Amazon fatigue is real, that, full stop. A lot of the advice around book marketing is still so old school based on the traditional book publishing world, right? It's for professional writers. So that means it's not usually going to work for business owners writing books. And that makes it frustrating when you're spending your time, you're spending your money, and you're not seeing the results. But the reason you're not seeing the results is because you're not selling your book the same way as professional authors are, the same way traditionally published authors are, because your goals are not the same as theirs, or their publishers for that matter, which we talked about that last week in the last episode about, traditional book publishing. That model is, it's not author revenue focused. It's book publisher revenue focused. So you want to make sure you've put all this time, all this effort, all of this money into writing and publishing this book. And now you want to market it properly, right? It's meant to support your business. It is not supposed to be your biggest revenue generator. Of course not. Even if it's a hardcover book, you're probably selling it for $25, $30, and most of us are selling, let's be honest, a paperback and or an ebook for $10, $12, $14, $17. Of course, it's not going to be your main source of revenue in your business. It's meant to support your business. And it's not about avoiding the Amazon and those other third-party sellers. Absolutely. I always say, and my book is, absolutely put your book on Amazon. Any sales you get from them, fantastic. But you want to be in control of what data you're getting, what information you're getting. And when you're selling direct, that's what's happening. So direct sales, I say, are the answer. They're the future for business owners writing books. They allow you to experiment. They allow you to test different sales multipliers. They allow you to collect data. They allow you to revise your marketing plan and strategy. And they allow you to use your book in your business as you intend. So that's your goal. So let's talk about some of the things that I've sort of hinted at already. Again, most book marketing advice is not for business owners. It's for traditional book publishing authors. It assumes that your income from your book is coming from royalties. And we talk all the time around here. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Listen to probably, if you picked a handful of episodes, I almost guarantee you would find one that talks about the return on a book being intangible. The revenue that you're making from your book is not coming from book sales and royalties directly. So traditional book marketing and publicity relied on volume. Sell a ton of books. That's how you're earning money as a professional author. That's not what you're looking to do. Obviously, sell as many books as you can. But would you rather sell 500 books, or would you rather sell 50 books to people who are the right fit for your audience and your messaging and your offers, who are then going to spend more and more and more with you because now they're into your business ecosystem? So yes, that 500 sales, 1,000 sales vanity metric, awesome, feels good. But what is it actually doing for you and your business? So that's what we need to really think about. You're not looking for thousands, millions of readers. You are looking for a smaller, focused group of the right readers who will then move through your business ecosystem. Again, that Amazon fatigue is real. Not only is it real, it's growing. And the same is true for other third-party sellers as well. It's a saturated market. The book market is a saturated market. So any sales you can get from those platforms are sort of, the cherry on top of an ice cream sundae. But remember that you're not getting customer data from them. You're not getting complete customer data from them. You're not getting people's email addresses. They're not on your email list now. They're not downloading a freebie or low-cost product of yours. They're not, moving through your offer ladder down your funnel to spend more, to trust more, to eventually become maybe a one-on-one client or someone who hires you for a speaking gig or something like that. So it's not that these third-party sellers are bad necessarily. It's that they're crowded, they're transactional for sure in their favor, and they're not relationship-based, which is what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to build a relationship with your readers so that they will then move through your funnels, your business ecosystem, get more and more involved, consume more and more of your knowledge, your products, your services, etc. Hey there, business owner, an aspiring or published author. Sorry to interrupt this episode. Just wanted to check in and see if you're subscribed to Coffee and Commas, my email newsletter, where I share behind the scenes, industry info, and much more about writing, publishing, and marketing a book for your business. Sign up at bit.ly/coffee and commas sign up. That's all lowercase. Now back to the show. So you want that customer relationship. That relationship comes and starts with data. So you need to be able to have that data. How do you do that? You sell directly. So it's a game changer. And I don't say that lightly, but it really is a game changer. I just revised my book, Write, Publish, Market in 2025. And we added this new section that I've gotten so much positive feedback about. I did an entire episode of the Write, Publish, Market podcast earlier this year, where we added this section called Do the Math, where we took actual math examples to sort of show how this works. We did it for lots of things throughout the book, but this is the section where I get the most positive feedback, where we're talking about, let's say you're selling your book on Amazon, okay? Paperback book, $10. Let's say you're getting a royalty of $7 on that. Sell 100 books, that's $700 that you're keeping. If you are selling your book directly, you're getting, let's say you're bundling it with a $17 workbook, right? So now you're selling that $10 paperback plus a $17 workbook. Even if only, 25, 30% of the people who are buying that book spend that extra $17, the difference in the math, which I'm not going to be able to do off the top of my head, which is why I, in the other podcast episode, wrote all the math out beforehand, and I should have done that for this. It's exponential. You're able to increase the value of a sale exponentially, tangibly, and intangibly, because now you're getting that person onto your email list. Now you can nurture them further. Now you can figure out where they are in their buyer journey, where they are in their own business, where they are in whatever metric you are looking to measure based on what your book topic is and what you want people to do next. You can measure those things. So you've got the tangible and the intangible working together when you do the math. It allows for you to have so many aha moments, right? It's unbelievable So if you haven't listened to episode 204 of Write Publish Market Podcast, I urge you to go do that when you're finished this episode. I'll link it in the show notes. It's fantastic, the options that you have before you. You have tripwires, you have order bumps, you have upsells, you have downsells, you have bonuses, and you're able with all of these things, you're still selling the book first and foremost. And then you have all of these other options to create all sorts of offers, all sorts of bundles, all sorts of ways to guide people to take the next step with you. And that's the name of the game, right? You're not trying to, you're a business owner. You're trying to make money. Of course you are. But you're not trying to have a money grab here. You're trying to serve people where they are, meet them where they are. Maybe someone needs a companion workbook to go with your book. Maybe they don't need a companion workbook, but they need, a deep dive into the next step. So one of the bundles I offer with my book, for example, I have the workbook, but then I also have a masterclass on repurposing your content, which is a topic that I cover in the book, but it's also an area where a lot of people who come to me for one-on-one work, that's where they want to spend their time and focus. Business owners have a lot of existing content, right? Tons and tons and tons of content. So they love the idea of not starting a manuscript at 0 words, but they don't know how to mine their content library. They don't even know, what does that look like? How do I actually do it? Repurpose your content is, a phrase that we throw around in the book publishing world, but how do you actually do it? So a lot of people like to pair that masterclass with the book, whether at the same time or come back for it later, because it's a great next step after the book for them. So you want to think about all of these different things that you can do based on your existing services and products, maybe some new products or services that you're going to create as a natural follow-up to the book. But using direct sales allows your book to function within your sales ecosystem. It's part of the ecosystem. It's not just a standalone product. And if that's all that somebody buys is the book, the standalone product, that's great. But now you can nurture them and see where they are, what makes sense for them next. So you're controlling the messaging and you're controlling how you're reframing what this product can do for you and for them, the readers. So you're taking this simple, $10 product, 15, 20, 25, depending on format, right? And size of the book and all of that. And thinking about, a low price something that can be a tripwire or an upsell or a downsell, depending on where they are, in your funnel. That person becomes a warm lead. That person becomes a future client. That person becomes someone with whom you have a long-term business relationship. And by doing these experiments, you can figure out what works for your audience, what works for you as a business owner, and how you want to spend your time and energy. And then you can keep revising that book marketing and promotion plan as your book is out there in the world. Experimentation is so huge in marketing. We all know that as, CEOs, business owners, leaders, but especially as a business owner with a book, experimentation in the book marketing phase is just, it's so critically important. There's not one proper way to do it. Just like choosing a publishing path, there's not one way to do it. Just like writing the book, there's not one way to do it. Book marketing is going to look different for every single one of us who has a book out there in the world. And the beauty of it is it's out there in the world. It's going to stay out there in the world. You can try something. It works great. Keep doing it. Add something else. See what that does. If it doesn't work great, no problem. Try something else. So once you've made that mindset shift that we talked about last week in episode 207, you're in the driver's seat. You're enjoying the control of the process that you have, and you're making all of these decisions strategically to move forward. So there's another episode 200 about direct sales as being, sort of the future of book marketing. And I go into some of these same concepts. Some of them are different. So I urge you to check that out. Also an episode on sales multipliers. I will also link that in the show notes. And I want to just make a quick mention here. My book planning intensive, the half-day intensive that I do, a lot of people in 2025 use this not for book planning, like before they started writing, but sort of mid-process or to work on the marketing plan. That's sort of the first time that I've really done that was last year, and it worked great. So I urge you, if you're stuck, if you're wondering, I have this whole offer suite, I have all of these plans, I need help, I urge you to, I'll link my website in the show notes as well. You could check that out, but that might be a great option for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this 2-part episode series here, the Business First book series. It's been a lot of fun to put together, and I wish you all the success in the world. And until next time, happy direct selling, my friends. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Write, Publish, Market podcast. I know just how busy business owners and CEOs' schedules are, and I'm grateful you've taken some time out of yours to spend with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, take a quick screenshot and share it on social to let others know you're listening. Use the hashtag Write, Publish, Market to spread the love.